Hi everybody, this is Chef Daniel here from the Ontario Racket Club. I'm currently making homemade pizza and I'm going to be showing you how to make pizza dough. So what I have here is I have 1.5 cups of flour. I have a little bit extra flour here if I need it. I have some homemade Italian sausage here, hot Italian sausage, which I made and then I cooked it off. And what I have heating over here, getting up to a nice temperature, is I have a cup of water with a teaspoon of yeast and equal parts of honey. I like shredded cheddar cheese on my pizza, so I have a shredded marble cheddar. I have freshly chopped rosemary, peppers, and onions. Alright, so I have all my ingredients here. My yeast has started to bloom in my water, so I'm just going to add it into my flour. Add it all. And I want a little bit of oil, so I just put a little bit of oil into the middle. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of rosemary to put inside of my pizza dough. I'm just going to take 2 clean fingers into the middle, and I'm just going to mix and stir. And then once it starts to form into a ball, I'm going to remove it. And if I have any extra flour in here, I don't have to incorporate it. I can just pull it out. Or if I need to add a little bit more water, I can nice and easily by able to do this with my fingers. And what I have here is it's pretty good. The ratio worked out pretty good there. And now I'm just going to take it out and I'm going to knead this together. Now what I have here is I have my dough, which I removed from my bowl. Just right here, I'm going to add a little tiny touch more flour. And I'm just going to knead it. So I'm just going to fold it back over top of each other to incorporate it all, to make it into a nice bowl, into a nice ball, I mean. And then we are just going to make sure that everything is incorporated evenly. A little bit more flour. It's a little bit wet. I prefer doing this by hand than I do doing it in a mixer, just because I enjoy being able to feel it and I can see the moisture level, so I don't have to add too much water or flour, because I can always add or subtract as much as I want, just for the fact that each flour is slightly different and it does absorb a little bit differently each time you do it. Now the pizza dough is done, the ball is made. Now I'm just going to let it relax, and I'm just going to let it sit for approximately 3 to 4 minutes at least, just so it can relax and it's nice and malleable when we put it into our pan. And the pan, I already have it pre-lined here. I have a smaller sized baking sheet, so this here would be about half of the size of a regular baking sheet. And with that, I just put a little bit of oil into the bottom of the pan, some parchment paper on top, and a touch of oil on top, just to make it a little bit easier so it can slide out. And also it gives a little bit of fat so it can crisp up nice and easily on the bottom. All right, now I have let the pizza dough relax for about 4 minutes. And now all I'm doing is I'm just taking my fingers and I'm just pressing it out. Just like this, giving it a quick flip. I don't want to use a rolling pin, because the rolling pin is too aggressive and it will agitate and it'll make the gluten act stronger within the dough, and it will take longer. So what will happen is it'll shrink back together a lot faster. So I'm just stretching it out with my fingers. I have stretched out the dough bit and I have it sitting inside of my pan. So I'm just spreading it out with my fingers to get it all the way into all the crevices as much as you possibly can. And then once I have that done, I'm not even going to use a fork or anything. I'm just going to use my fingers to make some holes to dock it so it's able to evenly rise. And then also when you put your sauce inside, you can pull slightly in each area where your fingers are, so it allows it to absorb and have a little bit more sauce in each bite. So you'll see. This is what I will do. I'm just going to go poke my fingers in there, just like so. Just like that. Okay. And I have my tomato sauce here. Just going to evenly spread it. This is tomato sauce I had sitting in the fridge for a couple of days. Make a batch about once a week, depending on how often I'm cooking. So if I cook, I generally cook and make about 2 liters at a time, and then I will use that maybe about once or twice a week. Now, a little trick I like to do before I put my cheese on is I like to season the tomato sauce with a little bit of salt on the bottom first. And then now I'm just going to build my pizza. Got my cheese. My onions. Peppers. My sausage. And then I'm going to finish it with the rosemary on top, and I will show you before it goes into the oven. And here now I have my pizza made. You've seen me make it from the beginning to the end. And it's just going to go into the oven. I have my oven preset to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put it into the oven for approximately, give or take, 12 to 16 minutes, depending on how well done I want the crust. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.